Hey guys, Chaotic Gamer here with another Hell Loose update video for you, talking about the update that's supposed to be coming out tomorrow of update 15.3. And this update is pretty small in terms of just content, just overall what it's bringing. It's bringing a refreshed version of PHL, or Purple Heart Lane, to the game, as the fans and community contributors did vote to have at least one map revamped, and Purple Heart Lane was that map in question. Now, the Team 17 guys did put out a video regarding the refresh for Purple Heart Lane in a very broad sense, talking about why they changed it, talking about the reasons for it, and just a very broad sense of what they did. I don't think it does a good job actually describing what they did change, more of just why they did it. But they do have a link in the description of the video talking about a lot of things that they did change. Now, it is an older dev brief, so there might be a couple things that may be slightly different than what is actually going to the game, but I would say for if they're posting this in the link for their trailer video that came out this week, then I would say that it's fairly accurate for what's going to be in the game and for what we need to know, at least from a player standpoint. Now we've kind of gotten an overview of what is coming in this update. Let's talk about the map itself and what is actually changing. And I know some YouTubers have already done a couple of videos of just what they have from the public test servers and stuff like that, but I'm doing this video for the sake of the fact that the update is coming out this week as of tomorrow, but I digress. Starting with the Bloody Bend objective. So they made some terrain tweaks, added some cover points, and an extra non-enterable barn for cover, and I'll show some photos on screen as we move along with what the objectives are. A couple extra little bridges and walkways from what it looks like on these objectives. So that's with Bloody Bend. So for Dead Man's Corner, they removed one of the non-enterable buildings and replaced it with a enterable version of the same size building to provide some more access routes and some elevation aspects. They opened up the wall network and just changed it up to just add some more routes in and around the objective and add some additional cover, which I think will be nice because now it's just more than just a piece of cover for that one building that you can't get in. It's a bigger building, but it allowed to actually travel around for both attacker and defenders alike. Next objective here is the 4 battery objective. So they've extended some of the hedgerows and added some bocage hedgerows for some cover for those in the water channels, some extra foliage, and added cover on the flooded field on the flank side. So just again, just a quick picture for what they provided for us for this objective. Now for Jordan Canal, they add a decent bit here, so they adjusted the terrain levels to reduce drowning. They add cattle ring covers for players trying to weed through the field, so there's a little bit of added cover. The player can now walk underneath the footbridge at full height without drowning. The player will drown if they attempt to crouch, and this can be prevented by standing up. Some pontoon bridges at one of the crossing points. Immediate cover for players as they cross the bridge. Some foliage and a tree line to add some line of sight blockers. Moving on now to Dove Bridge, so they created additional dock walkways to get across the other side of the river without having to necessarily cross the main bridge. There's some other cover points along this route, and they did tweak the landscape a little bit with some added destroyed vehicles, artillery scorch marks, and just other little things to add to this objective, just from a whole. This one I think is a big one, that way you can actually cross the objective from more than one angle. That's just me. From there, we have the Dove River Battery. The water can now be crossed at specific points, both on foot and in a vehicle. And this will be highlighted both in the environment and then on the tactical map. That one's a big one. Again, the whole point of trying to rework the map was trying to show you what areas were crossable and what areas were not. So keep an eye out for that when we start playing this map for real. Now for Grout Pillbox, there was some terrain changes, some additional cover, additional foliage, and an added pontoon bridge for extra river crossings. Also from the photo, it looks like there is just another regular wooden bridge. So, and more river crossings the better for at least infantry movement. Now, Carrington Causeway had a decent sized list here as I'm reading off now, such as a trench network added in close proximity to the already existing trench network, a non-enterable shed building has been added, a terrain pass, a foliage pass, some terrain changes such as the additional storytelling, which will probably be like more destroyed vehicles or artillery craters, embankments on the approach for prone cover, additional cover in the flood fields, and just in general additional cover and extra foliage. Flag position didn't have too many changes to it, but there were some terrain changes, additional foliage and cover, and additional storytelling as described in the dev brief. From there we go to Madeline Farm with some terrain changes, some changes on the road access, which there is some more road access compared to less. And overall there's some extra cover from what it looks like with some barbed wire, some metal tank traps or tank barriers, and some artillery craters such as the more storytelling aspects that they're throwing around in a lot of these objectives. Now moving to the left side for Madeline Bridge, they updated some of the rubble positions so that the player cannot get underneath the arch from what I've seen like in the bridge. I'm just kind of reading off this from the list here. The player can fully cross the river at certain sections and keeps it in line with the rest of the canal, and they add an additional trench network in the field. Since this is dragging on, I'm going to kind of throw all the objectives here together. Aid Station has a couple little things with the hard caps, such as a train pass and some foliage and a little extra cover. In-growth crossroads, depending on how you say it. I apologize if I butchered it. Add a farm compound, a terrain pass on height, blending and painting, some additional foliage. And the road to Carentan has a terrain and foliage pass and some additional cover. And Cabbage Patch, the only objective for those you keeping track I haven't mentioned, has no changes that have been referenced on here on the list. And they specifically said that. Now, I think with this map rework, it'll make PHL or Purple Heartland a little bit more popular of a map. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong on this one, but that's just how I feel. I'm curious what you guys think about it. I know some people will probably not be happy because it's not a content adder, but at least it'll change the map and hopefully make it a better map as a whole. But the other thing that's also getting added that is not been talked about is the admin cam for console servers. This has been more for the competitive branches such as TPL, LEU, and just anyone who's been playing in the competitive scene who wants to maybe call or announce their games, but that's that. Now, remember, I am just the messenger. Please do not shoot me. I am just trying to deliver the news, and for those of you who watch my channel, I will have another video out shortly busting more Hell Let Loose myths. But thank you for watching, guys. I hope you got something out of the video. Take care, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.